one of the only benefits of driving. You get like true alone time that most of us don't get. It's like your own little chamber of solitude. Singing in the car, absolutely fantastic. And crying in the car, amazing.
You are definitely of a different genre. I think we need to hold some auditions for
No replacements.
For replacement, because what are we gonna do?
How some people can be like, wow, that was so amazing, like you should watch this, and then other people come away being like,
oh,
that
no.
is not just terrible, but like so traumatic. I wish I'd never seen it. I would never tell someone else to watch that.
Maybe I'll just stay up late tomorrow night and just watch the
What's late to you, Emma?
I mean, I'm in bed by 9:30 these days. Does anybody
What
know
a dream.
how I can be in a Hallmark movie? Just as an extra. Just want to wear a cozy jumper in July, whenever they film it, with a hat.
It's a bit like can't watch Devil Wears Prada because I'll cut a fringe. So I have to be like real careful. Like if I'm watching Devil Wears Prada, I text Kaz like FYI later on when I say, what do you think about me cutting a fringe? You've got to know where I'm coming from. And we say no. You have to remind me what fringes are. It's a terrible idea.
I was thinking of Will and Grace.
Oh, yes.
Hello? Oh. Can you hear me? I'm not on mute. Kyla is connecting to the audio. Kyla is connecting to the audio. I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Could you hear me before?
No.
No. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh.
That makes more sense.
It's not on mute.
No. I don't know why I was doing that. Anyway.
Hello.
It's been so long. It's my fault that we've taken so long to since the last episode, because obviously I was on holiday, and then everything I feel like it takes weeks to get back on an even keel after holiday.
Life just happens, doesn't it? Life just gets away with you, and then by the time you think about it, you're like, oh my god, it's like 3 weeks later.
Oh my god, it's Christmas.
Not long. I'm just saying, not long. What is that I saw? 29 Fridays. I think I saw on Friday or something.
Literally, I think because it feels like we had summer for like a week, and then it went away. Now I'm like, okay, I'm ready now. Let's just do Christmas.
Yeah. What is that? Is that cork board?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh, I see.
Change things around a little bit. I've got like one long desk situation now in here, and I got some. Do you know these are from? Where are they from? The Range, and they were £10 for 4. Really nice.
I like them. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get some more. Like for the like quality of them. They're not just cork. They like feel nice.
Yeah.
They're like kind of chunky and a bit like I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I was really impressed. I don't go to the Range very often, but I went specifically for some stuff for like officey stuff. And yeah. Also just like I'm wearing all matching.
And blanket in June.
It's cold.
To be honest, I brought my cardigan up here as well because I was downstairs. It's actually warmer up here, and this room, sun comes in, so it does get warm. But downstairs, I was like, to put the heating on. It's cold, but
I'm going to put the tree up, Chris.
I've got a cup of tea. Got a couple of Ferrero Rochers from the ambassador. Would you like one? There you go.
Wouldn't that be great if we'd prepared that? And I've been like, oh, thanks so much. Well, I just had a little fudge bar while I was waiting for you.
Oh, anyway, welcome back
to our. This is our penultimate episode of the season. Oh, don't call it a podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's not a podcast. For our penultimate episode, so we've got a planned chat for this week and next week, and then we won't be back till. Did we say? Well, we said September, I think, but
we're gonna have a Only Murders conflab chat thing, so that will be
August. End of August. So it could be. Let me just check.
Okay, while you do that, I'll just eat my Ferrero Rocher.
Okay, everyone can put this in their diary. In the building.
I'll put it in my diary. I don't even know what day we're doing what.
I know. Well, we will need to be. Although I think we'll want to be like fairly sharpish if we're going to do we're going to do podcast chats about the episodes. We can't be like, and then this goes up next week.
When does it start? Is it the 20? It's the 20 something of August, isn't it?
Yeah, it is definitely.
They've just wrapped on it, haven't they?
Yeah, we were so hoping to maybe catch them filming something. August 27th. August 27th. So let's see what that's.
So we'll just do
Did it used to be a Tuesday?
the podcast?
No,
Oh,
it's
Only
Tuesday.
Murders?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, so then with a view to recording on a Wednesday, maybe we should do this like as a weekend. So I think this particular episode might end up going, this is admin that you guys don't even want to be involved in, but you're here. So
this is background noise
behind the
people.
curtain. Yeah. Behind the curtain, boring stuff. I think this is going to go up on Sunday just because of how it's kind of panned out. Maybe Sunday makes the most sense.
Yeah, uploads? Sunday uploads.
A Sunday podcast episode. Maybe that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, I don't think it matters to most people because they'll just watch whenever they watch it. But, if you've got an opinion on that, let us know. Let us know. I was just like, wait, I am recording, aren't I? Yes. In the kerfuffle of finding our microphones. Yes.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway if you weren't, because we were just talking admin anyway if you weren't recording, but
because it was all nonsense up until this point. Also, with my headphones on, it like really voluminous's my hair.
Volume. Oh, do you like my hair?
I do. I do.
Thanks for the inspiration.
Isn't it freeing though?
Yeah.
It really. Do you know what? There was a topic that was on our list that we never did, and we could segue. We haven't started. We could segue into that because it is relevant. And the topic was about hair.
Oh, we could do that then. Maybe we should do that as next week's episode then.
Maybe we should.
And then leave what we were going to do. Now I'm being elusive. What we were going to do, we could leave it for another season.
Another season.
And then we could talk
another season.
I'll give
you a hint. I found this the other day when I was cleaning up. I was like, oh.
I just found this. I found my book.
I did. I literally just found it in the cupboard.
Mine's on the shelf. I've got my signed copy. It's on the shelf.
Your signed copy. Well, look, see, I have a whole section on Fuller analysis.
You're giving it away.
I know, but it's an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic. Don't bother buying the book. Just ask me about it, and I'll tell you.
Talk about self-promotion.
I'm horrible at self-promotion. How we've sold one single candle, I have no idea. I have a real hard time with it.
Because they're good candles. That's what it is. They're good candles.
I mean, the repeat business speaks for itself. But that's not what this episode's going to be about.
No. Today's episode is about comfort viewing.
Yes,
like
comfort rewatching, and how certain TV shows and movies have kind of eked their way in to your lives, like in a particularly significant way. Like I mean, immediately think, especially for like autumn, winter, like Practical Magic. Like that is a vibe. That is a feeling.
Films for different seasons, films for feelings, films for comfort, films to make you feel happy, films to make you feel sad. Yeah.
There are films you just kind of want to step into.
Yeah. Yeah, like yours would be like New York movies for sure. Like You've Got Mail, I'd say for yours.
100%. Love You've Got Mail.
Sleepless in Seattle.
My original favourite movie was One Fine Day, which is also in New York.
Oh God, I love that film. I've seen that film for ages.
Such a good film. Also great short hair inspiration in that film. Michelle Pfeiffer has got like ultimate 90s. It's almost like a Rachel cut. It's like a bob with a bit of a...
Oh, I like it when she's all slouchy though. She puts it up and she's got the bits. Yeah, that hairstyle is lovely, isn't it?
The whole, I mean, her hair, I feel like, is another character in that movie, particularly. There's a part where she's getting ready at the end, and at the end of this very long day, and she's got to kind of like do herself up, and she's looking in the mirror, and she kind of like pulls her hair back, and she's got this little I've had many tops that I've bought over the years, specifically thinking this is going to be like this top. It's like a real thin material, roll neck, short sleeved,
Oh,
clingy
yes, I know the
top.
one.
It's grey. Oh,
Yeah.
that, and
With
then
like
she's putting her hair up.
with the trousers, yes.
Oh,
Like they're like cigarette trousers.
yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Everything she wears in that movie, even the little dinosaur t-shirt that she has to wear,
Oh
because
yeah.
everything about it, I love it. I must have seen that film 100 times. But
Well,
stuff like that,
it's a
it's
comfort film though, right? It's a comfort film because you know what's coming
definitely,
next and it gives you all the feels, doesn't it?
yeah, definitely a comfort movie, and that's been spoken about a lot recently, like in recent years, that people rewatch things because they're anxious and they want to know how things are going to end, and
Yeah,
it's
you don't.
it's a really interesting idea that
Mm.
that's why we do that.
But see, for me, I mean, I'm very similar to you in terms of like movie wise. Like I love Sleeps in Seattle and all that kind of stuff. You got mail, Christmas films, The Holiday, obviously,
Hmm.
Love Actually. But also I'm very much a period drama lover. I could sit and rewatch
Hmm.
them. And I've spoken about this before, like Catherine Cookson. I think I get that from my mum because my mum watches a lot of Catherine Cookson. It's on the planner all the time, like she's recorded it. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you've recorded Tilly Trotter or whatever. But yeah, those are the kind of comfort films for me because it just, I don't know, it just makes me feel good, feel
Do you know what
nice.
I think period dramas are? I think that they are science fiction for people who don't like science. I know they're not science fiction, but that
Uh,
life is so far removed from your life. It's not, you cannot
Oh,
imagine
okay.
living a life
I
that
get what you're
is,
trying to. Mm,
yeah. So you can't imagine ever living a life that is like Downton Abbey. It
yeah.
feels sci-fi. It feels like it's a not, because it's not a real existence anymore. So to me, that is a little bit like it's
I yeah,
fantasy-esque, because
yeah.
it's not actually, it doesn't exist anymore, especially Bridgerton, because that obviously is like
Well, I think
a
this
melding of,
is the Bridgerton effect, isn't it? I think this is what's
yeah.
happening. And I know you're putting this up on Sunday, but tomorrow we're recording this on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the day. Do you
Oh,
know about this?
do you get the 4 episodes?
Get the rest of the 4 episodes. And episode 5 is supposed to be steamy. Got the
So
mirror
you haven't
scene.
even had to wait that long.
A month. That's long.
That's not
A
long.
month. That's long. Considering I'm not
Yeah.
really a binge watcher, that's the one thing I will binge watch. However, I'm going to have to do it in chunks tomorrow. And I'm like,
You're gonna binge watch 4 episodes in chunks. That's not binge watching.
well, because I'm working, so I'm going to have to watch it in chunks. And I'm like, do I watch it on the train? Can you imagine me on the train? I can't be watching it on the train, like on my phone. Like, and be like, oh my God, it's a porny scene. Like, I can't do it.
No, I
Gonna
would
have to just
wait.
watch it.
I don't. When we've talked about that before, with Only Murders, and you'll be like, "Oh, I watched a bit of it on the train this morning," and I'm like, "How can you do?" Like, if it's something that I love, I'm like really interested in. I am not watching that on a little screen on the train. I'm not watching it while I'm working. I am waiting, and it's gonna get its
It's on the
moment
big screen. It's on the big telly.
when I've got time to really watch it.
Oh, I know. I'm in the here and now. I want to watch it. Want to watch it now. So yeah, tomorrow's the day. So yeah,
Bridgerton Day.
maybe I'll just stay up late tomorrow night and just watch the four
What's late
episodes.
to you, Emma?
I mean, I'm in bed by 9:30 these days. I just can't do it anymore. Maybe I'll stay up till midnight. Woo!
Oh,
Go crazy. But anyway, the Bridgerton effect, like period dramas, Bridgerton,
mm.
obviously it's the big thing.
Well, Pride and
Um,
Prejudice
and,
had its
and
like
it's the
pre Bridgerton. It was Pride and Prejudice,
yeah, like
BBC.
anything Jane Austen, Little Women, Becoming Jane is one of my comfort films as well with James McAvoy and Anne Hathaway. Oh, that's so good. Oh, when they want to run away in the carriage together. Oh, anyway, but you know, it just gives you that. Well, see, I'm a sucker for romance as well. I love a
Mm,
romance film and things like The Notebook. I could watch that over and over again, but that's also one that I'll watch if I want to cry. Um,
mm.
like, do you have specific films for your specific like mood?
Like
If you
for
want to,
feels. Yeah,
For
I
food.
think so. I'll tell you what is, my mum always said she never understood why people watched films to cry. Like she did, because she doesn't want to cry. So that's insane. Like, why would you want to watch something that you know is going to make you cry? Like, that's just like a solid no for my mum. And I get that because I feel the same about horror films. Like, that sounds like a terrible time. I am never going to, by
Same.
choice, watch something that's going to actually scare me. That's crazy. But romance, I feel like there's a fine line where a romance film is too much romance and there's nothing like Sleepless in Seattle is, I still think, I don't know if it's a rom-com or if it's like a drama, because it's not just a romance. Sleepless in Seattle is a romance, but it's not a romance like The Notebook.
It's a romance, but it also shows elements of things like grief.
I think it's
And
I think it's a
but
rom-com.
it's also got those other elements to it as well. You know?
Yeah, but like The Notebook, not a rom-com.
No, it's not a rom-com. No, that's
I don't
pure
think I really
romance, I think.
like a romance. They're
Oh,
always sad.
always. At the end of Pride and Prejudice,
Always
I can't even
sad.
talk. Pride and Prejudice. Why can't I say it? Pride and Prejudice was not sad. They got together in the end.
Yeah, but geez, it took them a minute.
Oh yeah, this is true.
It took them long enough.
This
There's
is
always crying along the way, isn't there?
Yeah.
How do we find
And
out what it's classed as? Genre, let's say Sleepless in Seattle genre. Because when I like The Notebook, I didn't watch The Notebook for so many years. I think because everyone's like, you've got to watch The Notebook, and I'm like, watch me not watch The Notebook.
watch me not watch it because you told me to watch it.
I will not be watching that.
I am
There's so many
rebelling
films.
against that.
There's so many films that people are like, this is a classic, you've got to see it. I'm like, no, I never even saw The Goonies.
Have
No.
you still never seen it?
No, still never seen it. As a child, I think I had this in me as a child, where people were like, you got to watch this thing. And I was like, well, now I can't. No, a lot of must-see movies I just didn't see. But Ella made me watch, it is a romantic comedy, Sleepless in Seattle. It is. That makes sense. Ella made me watch The Notebook, and it was way too sad. Like all the way through when it's like cutting back and forth, I'm like, I can see where we're going with this. She's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, this is awful. I don't like any of these people.
Oh.
Like, it's going to be sad in the end, and I hate everyone in it.
Oh, well, we just won't watch The Notebook together, okay? But I love it. But then I like anything that, that writer, he's done like Dear John.
Oh, yeah. I will hate all of those films.
You Safe Haven, you'll hate that.
Oh, I watched Safe Haven when I cut my hair really short, because I started to try and watch that again recently.
From Julianne Hough? Yeah, okay.
I tried to watch that when I was having my hair cut again. I was like, because I remember watching that film and loving her hair so much that I was like, I'm cutting my hair off, which I did. And all these years, it's been like more than 10 years, and I've kept thinking, I'd quite like to watch that film again, but I don't want to cut my hair. It's a bit like can't watch Devil Wears Prada because I'll cut a fringe. So I have to be like real careful. Like, if I'm watching Devil Wears Prada, I text Cars, like, FYI, I'm about to watch Devil Wears Prada. Later on, when I say, what do you think about me cutting a fringe? You've got to know where I'm coming from. I've just seen
and you have to say
Devil Wears Prada.
No.
And we say no. You have to remind me what fringes are. It's a terrible idea.
Just buy a clip-in one.
Meh, I have tried that as well. I love the idea of fringe. It's not for me. Anyway, I put off Safe Haven for all those years, and I started watching it again recently. Couldn't even watch 10 minutes. It's the worst film I've ever seen in my life. Like, how did I watch this film?
You know, sometimes those films, though, not The Notebook, though. I think The Notebook is a special exception because I do like The Notebook. Anyway, but those other ones, they do feel like a Channel 5 special. You know what I mean?
A made-for-TV movie.
A Channel 5 afternoon special film. You know, we all know the ones that run at 3:00 in the afternoon on Channel 5.
I mean, when you say Channel 5 special, I see like Friday Night at 10, Emmanuel in Space. Friday Night special means different things to different people. I'm seeing like Red Shoe Diaries. But I see what you mean.
You
Made
know
for
what I
TV
mean?
movie. More like a
Maybe TV.
Hallmark.
Yeah, like a Hallmark. Oh, that's still
Mm.
my aspiration. I still want to be in a Hallmark movie. How do we make this happen? Does anybody
What a
know
dream.
how I can be in a Hallmark movie? Just as an extra. Just want to wear a cozy jumper in July, whenever they film it, with a hat, and just be in the background going, oh,
I think we
a
could do this,
Christmas film.
They tend to film them in like upstate New York in the middle of summer.
Oh God, but that means going to New York in the summer, and that's like that would kill me.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't be in the city. We could go to the city and then get a train to wherever it is that they're filming it, and it could be quite nice.
And beg them for us to
No,
be
we'd
in the
have we'd
film.
arrange it in advance. I think we could do it. I think we'd do
Yeah.
it. But funnily enough, when you saying Dear John, it always comes up. It's like an ongoing joke. I think might have been one of the first times me and Lee went to New York together. And you know when you go, not so much now because Uber's such a thing, but like you used to always get in the yellow taxis, and so you used to see the same thing in the taxi TV constantly, and by the end of the trip you knew every single segment on every TV because you'd heard it so many times. Dear John was about to come out. I have no idea what Dear John is about. All I know is the reviewer was harsh because he was
Wow.
like, from the makers of The Notebook, like it promises this, it's going to be this, it sounds like it's going to be amazing, but it isn't.
What?
Like, this is in the taxi TV. Like, so many
Oh.
people must have seen this, and it was just like the harshest. Like,
Oh,
don't watch this movie.
I thought it was all right. It wasn't the best movie ever made, but but
But
Channing
it
Tatum's
isn't.
in it.
Channing Tatum, who we've technically been in the same room as.
We have. Yeah, we've also been in the same room as Amber Heard, but we won't talk about that.
We shan't. We shan't. But 1 degree of separation between us and Johnny Depp.
Yeah, true. And also, Hugh Jackman ruined our selfie. Remember?
I do.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman was behind us.
It's so
Yeah.
weird the things that you get to do that you like forget that you got to do.
No, we had this conversation not long ago, didn't we?
It's
Yeah.
like
And I was thinking about it again the other day. Who was I talking to? Oh, I went to a barbecue the other day, and there were some people there, and we were talking about old TV shows. And again, this is kind of like on the comfort themes, like comfort TV, comfort films. And they were saying, "Oh, I used to really love watching Quantum Leap." And do you remember Quantum Leap?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, "Come in, Sam. Come
Loved
in,
it.
Sam."
Loved
Yeah.
it.
And then we were talking about Dempsey and Makepeace,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were talking about Dallas and Dynasty. Right, and I was like, "Oh, what did you used to watch?" And this guy was like, "Oh, I was more of a Dallas person, wasn't it?" Well, I've met Joan Collins, and that's like,
I honest to God was like, I don't know where she's going with this, and I was like, oh my God, she's
yeah,
I
I
did
was
meet
like,
Joan
"Well,
Collins.
I've actually met Joan Collins," and he was like, "Shut up!" I was like, "Oh, bloody hell!"
I know, that is so weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
So weird. Who is your? I
madness.
know we're off topic now, but who is your like bucket list? I have one, maybe two. I mean, there are multiple people that you'd be like, I'd love to meet these people, but I have two that come top of mind that I'm like, I will be really, really disappointed if I hear that they're no longer with us and I never got to like be in the same room as them, let alone meet them, but like see them. Who would they be for you?
Oh, a few actually. I really, really would love to meet Dawn French. I would love to meet Dawn French.
But we've at least breathed the same air as Dawn.
Yeah, this is true.
We've existed in her space.
Yeah, I've done
But
it
yes.
twice. You've done it twice too, because you went to see it twice.
Oh, 3
times. I went to see her
because we went to see me and Mum went to see their farewell tour, like her and Jennifer Saunders.
Oh, so you've done it 3, and I've okay, twice for me because I saw the latest tour, the last tour that she's just done.
Not to 11 Arifia.
You just did though. So yeah, Dawn French is one. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, I'd love to meet Taylor Swift, and obviously I'm going to see Taylor Swift, but I'm not. That's not I'm going to see her in concert. That's going to be great. But it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
also she's so young that she's not like
yeah.
on your, like you've got 30 or 40 years to be
No,
like,
this is the
maybe.
thing. I really want to meet before they, you know, oh, I think I know one of yours. I definitely know one of yours now. I've just said that. I was thinking of Will and Grace.
Oh, yes. I was like, they are not on Will and Grace.
No. But I'd really like to meet Celine Dion.
Oh, do you know what? She was the third alternate that like popped into my head. Agreed, but she's not like, I won't be like bereft.
Mm. Actually, there's a thing, I've saved it to my watch later. She's done an interview, I think, with is it E? Talking about like, because she's got that.
Oh, there's a documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary.
I
She's
watched
made
the trailer for it. The trailer will make you cry.
Oh, maybe that's why she's done an interview then
Yeah.
that I saw. Okay. So yeah, Celine Dion, love to meet her. And David Attenborough. I would really like to meet David Attenborough. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to listen to him and like, you know, I saw this is so off topic. But I suppose it's on the realms of comfort because his voice is very comforting. But someone made a TikTok and was like, I think we need to hold some auditions for
No. Replacements.
for replacement because what are we gonna do?
Well, that's like James Earl Jones.
Well,
who's gonna be or like Morgan Freeman, who's gonna be the voice of God when Morgan Freeman's not here anymore.
Right? So they were like, I really think we need to like start holding some auditions soon because he's 98. I'm like,
yeah, but this is how this all comes back to like the actors going on strike, because my first thought is, well, they've got as much as they ever need from all those three people to AI anything for the rest of time. And obviously that's why a lot of people were on strike last year, because they're like, well, this year, I don't know, last year, because it felt like, God, this year has gone so quick.
Hasn't it?
I'm genuinely like, did that happen this year or last year? And I think it was before Christmas. And that feels like 2 months ago. That's crazy. But yeah, I totally get why that was so much of an issue, because now they can just take whatever they need of people and create an infinite stuff. It's bizarre, isn't it? But I do think between us we could have like an amazing dream dinner party.
Okay,
David
your
Attenborough.
list.
I would never have thought of him,
we've got
but great
David
idea.
Attenborough, Dawn French, and Celine Dion. Right.
Celine Dion, yeah. I'm with you. I would love to see those three have a conversation. You know, like the actors on actors. I'd like Dawn French and Celine Dion. What a treat would that be? Because Celine Dion is really, really funny, but like unexpectedly funny. And she's not going to totally get all of...
She's wacky funny, isn't she?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Which I think would kind of feed off Dawn French, like, but I don't think she'd totally get all of Dawn French's humour because it's English humour.
I think, yeah, because you know, like when Dawn French goes, hello, ladies and jelly spoons, or whatever she says. Like, I think Celine Dion would just be sat, you'd just have like a... Celine Dion would not know what was going on.
Or Celine Dion could do the thing that Dawn French, where she's like, but in like a French Canadian gibberish.
And then I really want David Attenborough to be like, so here we have a comedian and author Dawn French and French Canadian singer Celine Dion.
French Canadian national treasure in her unnatural habitat, sitting next to Dawn French.
And then income, and then who else is coming to this dinner party?
So Cher.
Yeah.
Obviously. I will be so, like, the first opportunity now at this point, if she ever tours again, and I will never forgive myself for not going, because she was playing in Vegas when we went with the kids. I don't know when this was. It wasn't recently. It was like maybe like 2016. And she was playing, and I was like, I couldn't afford to get tickets for the four of us anyway at that point. I mean, I think Milo was like 6. We had taken him to see Britney Spears. So it's not like I wouldn't have taken him to see Cher, but it just seemed like it was astronomical. The cost of the tickets was so crazy, but I could have gone on my own. And that is one of those things that now I think, looking back, I might have felt guilty on the day, but I would never have regretted doing that. Ever. And now, I saw something earlier and someone was saying, I think it was actually a TV show, it's not like it was a real person, but obviously a real person wrote this. She was like in her 70s and she was saying something about how she was prioritizing happiness. And the person was like, oh, well, you know, it's easier said than done. You know, there's more to life. And she says, no, when you get to a certain age, you realize there was never anything more to life than happiness. Like, that's everything. And I think that there is something to be said for that. There's like, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to live a specific way or not let other people down and not, but we should be prioritizing our own happiness a little bit more often than we do. But that's by the by.
And that would make you happy to see Cher. That would make you happy.
It would make me very happy to see Cher.
Yeah,
but, you know, she's got.
You must have been watching something about her, because I remember very specifically you texting saying, "If Cher ever tours, we're going." And I was like,
I don't even think I was. I think I was just thinking about Cher.
You just.
I don't even think I was listening to her music. I think I was just thinking about Cher. I think I was just like living my life thinking about Cher and being like, I can't believe I never went to see Cher. Although I did read an interview with her recently, because she's got a much younger boyfriend, and like a much younger boyfriend, it's great. And they said something about the age difference, and why she didn't want to go out with someone more her age, and she said, because everyone my age is dead. This is great.
Fair enough.
I just love her so much. So Cher and Bette Midler.
Oh, Bette Midler.
I think she would be the most fun. Goldie Hawn as well is.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, Goldie Hawn has my retirement hair. That's the hair I want. That's when the fringe is coming, because I'm going to have a facelift by then. So then you need a fringe and all of the hair around your face to hide the facelift.
Are you gonna be wearing like leggings with leotards over the top? Yeah. Doing all the stuff that she does,
like house sitter.
That's what
I'm seeing.
I was gonna say, can we also have Steve Martin at this party so we can recreate house sitter?
And then Martin Short, obviously, because they come as a pair. Actually, do you know what? I prefer Martin Short to Steve Martin. If I had to pick, it would be Martin Short. I was listening to a podcast with them on the other day, and Steve Martin, because they're always like digging at each other. My favorite, you must have heard him say it before, because they talk about how they met. And Martin Short says that he rocked up at Steve's house to pick up a script for The Three Amigos. That's how he met him. He went to Steve Martin's house to pick up the script. And when he got there, he was looking around like, oh my God, this house is amazing. Like the art on the walls, like it was really, really expensive stuff. And when Steve Martin came out, he was like, oh my God, he was like, how did you get so rich? I mean, I've seen your work. It's like, that was his initial gag. And then apparently Steve Martin handed in the script and said, could you get this to Martin Short? So that was their like dynamic, was immediately like ribbing each other.
Yeah.
But Steve Martin said that in Hollywood, when someone's having a dinner party, they will always make sure that, like, can Martin Short come? If he can't come, we cancel the dinner party.
Oh.
Like, he's the entertainer.
He's the one. He's the one to have. Oh,
he'd have to be on the list. Definitely.
Yeah. I saw a spoiler actually for Only Murders.
Oh, so did I.
Did you see it? You know,
was it a wedding?
Yeah.
Right. So I said to Milo, I think we've forgotten we're recording this for a podcast. I said to Milo that they do sometimes do things and intentionally put it out like that's not real. So they'll put things out for the media, but we looked and that set was too elaborate for it to have been. Sometimes they'll put people in wedding dresses. I know that for Sex and the City movie they did that. They had all 3 women wear wedding dresses and be photographed, so that it wasn't.
Yeah, it could be for a dream sequence or something. You know, a bit like the White Room, like Steve Martin White Room when he was going a bit.
It could be because it seems too soon.
Well, you know,
I don't know. We don't want to say, because if we don't want to spoil it for the people who haven't seen that spoiler. But yeah, that's a good point. It could be a dream
sequence. Talking of
Sex
and the City, have you seen the outfits? Have you been watching like the snippets? Have you seen that big gingham hat?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
I'm like, what is that?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we've talked about this, but I can't watch and just like that. I tried to watch, like season 1, I watched it. It was difficult, but I watched it. Season 2, I couldn't even make it through one episode, and I am not a quitter. I watched
Yeah.
some
I
trash.
watched it. I watched it.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I think I will continue. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Again, but I think it's the nostalgia thing for me.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah,
But you
completely.
think that,
I hate Shay so much.
she's not in this one.
And I've heard that she's not in season 3. But I didn't really even like her as Callie in Grey's Anatomy.
But
Then I
don't
really don't like
Well, there's a
them as
comfort
Shay.
show. You brought that back round, haven't you? There's a comfort show for you,
Yes.
Grey's Anatomy. That's what. Although I kind of gave up after, well, we won't spoil
You
it
gave up
for
after you
everybody.
spoiled it for me.
I did. Give it up. What was
Mean.
the point after that? What? Tell me, what was the point?
Well, I would tell you, but it'd be spoiler. There's loads of points. Loads of points. It's actually really good, I think. Like, it's come back when Meredith left, which she didn't really leave. She's kind of in it, but she's not in it full time. The character's still in it, and she's still in occasional episodes, and they reference her and stuff. But she's like moved away, and she's trying to solve Alzheimer's still. What I don't understand about Grey's Anatomy is how it can be a comfort watch when it is so uncomfortable. It's so harrowing.
It's always
Talk
so
about
sad,
crying.
isn't it?
It's always so sad. How?
Maybe people like to watch it for a cry.
Mm.
Maybe that's why. It's
definitely
ones.
easier to cry at a TV show or a movie, and you kind of get it out. It's a cathartic experience to cry, and it allows you that physical experience of crying without actually facing any of your personal turmoil. Like, I don't have to face any of the problems that I have in real life or things that I would actually want to cry about, but my body gets the release of crying.
But that's also like listening to music. If you listen to certain music, certain songs that will make you feel a certain way, the tears will flow, and then you feel better. So
yeah, it's true. There are some songs.
For the soul.
Are you crying in the car? Crying in the car. Well, yeah, but when you're this is to people who don't drive, who were like on the fence about why they wouldn't want to drive. I always give 2 things. Singing in the car is the best. Like, you never ever, like, one of the only benefits of driving is you sing in the car, and you get like true alone time that most of us don't get. I mean, especially like, obviously we both live with people beyond just our partners. You very rarely get like the house completely to yourself. It's just rare. And even when you do, someone could come home. You don't know. You don't ever get like true, but when you're in the car, it's like your own little chamber of solitude. Yeah. So singing in the car, absolutely fantastic. And crying in the car, amazing. Kaz has got a playlist for it.
Oh, I love
like,
it.
That's amazing. That's a great idea. But there's certain songs that I'll be singing to in the car that I cannot sing to them because they make me cry. You like start to cry, and I'm like, how do these people sing these songs on stage?
They probably become immune to it. They probably just become so,
But
what
they've got that like emotion in the voice then.
Yeah. What films or TV shows do you make you cry? I mean, the first
obviously Grey's Anatomy.
first one that comes to my mind is Marley and Me.
Right, but then I watched that once, and I don't need to watch that again.
No, I'm not watching it again, but
because it was so sad.
Yeah. But then I will watch The Notebook again. I suppose that's the difference. Like, this Marley and Me made me so upset, and then I can put myself through The Notebook and cry over The Notebook.
So the thing of The Notebook, I suppose, it's because it's the romance element, whereas the Marley and Me is like, to me, that's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? So that I think is like, there's a movie with Natalie Portman. I think it's called The Other Woman. One of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life, and it was about, she's the other woman. She's had an affair, and all the way through, you know that her baby's died, but you don't really know how her baby's died. And in the end, you find out like it was cot death. It's like she smothered the baby or something had happened. But,
oh gosh.
Oh, it was, honest to God, one of the most heart-wrenching films. It took ages for me to feel all right after that. And I will never watch that again. Never, ever.
Oh,
ever. Because it was just sad.
Yeah.
Like Marley and Me. Like, I get that, yeah, okay, the film is nice, but like, by the end of it, you're just sad.
Yeah. Well, that's like One Day. I mean, that's the most recent one I can think of. One Day. Have you ever seen that?
What do you think?
But have you watched the film with Anne Hathaway?
No, of course not. Because everyone told me what it was about, and I was like, no, thank you. That
Oh,
sounds terrible.
it's a good film though, and the series. Obviously, it came out at the beginning of the year, and it was a big hype, wasn't it? Everyone was talking about it, and I was to like, when you're crying that much that you're like literally after you finish watching it, you're still like,
Yeah. And you told me, oh my God, I've watched this thing. Bear in mind, we both knew what it was about. And I was like, why would you watch that? And it reminded me of when I came out of the cinema, having watched Titanic, and I was crying and crying. And my mum came to pick me up and she said, I told you it sank. And I get it, because what did I expect? The boat is going to sink. What did you think was going to happen, Michaela? The boat is going to sink. Of course you're going to cry. People are going to die on this boat. Why would you go and watch a movie about it? And now I think, I don't know. Why did we
mm,
watch that? And why would you watch One Day when you knew what it was
I
about?
knew. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to see the adaptation and see and everybody was talking about it, and so I wanted to see, and they did it differently. They did it different. There was so much more detail.
But
Um,
just as sad.
but just I knew what was going to happen, obviously, and it was just as sad. But I feel like where it just ended in the film, it carried on, and it was the I don't want to give well, I've kind of got to give a spoiler. I was more sad about the grief than anything
Mm,
else, you know.
yeah. Oh, I know.
'Cause-
Kaz told me about this because she was like, you should watch it. And again, no, thank you. So then she told me about the like after portion.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that sounds terrible.
Oh,
Everybody seemed to love it. Everyone was like, oh, it's the best thing. I'm like, I don't get it. Did you watch that baby reindeer?
mm.
Right. Did you watch all of it? Because I didn't watch all of it. I had to stop.
I've got like one episode left. You know
Okay.
me, I watch things in chunks, apart from Bridgerton, where
Well,
I'm like,
I think we watched I think it's the fourth episode that was like, oh my God, this is
oh,
this thing,
fourth
I've got to turn it
episode
off.
is
Yeah. So
yeah.
we packed like just 4 episodes in one, and then I said to Lee, we've got to turn this off immediately. Like I can't
Mm,
deal with this. And I really was not okay for a
yeah.
while, like for like days afterwards. I didn't feel okay. It baffles me how we all respond so differently to these like emotional things,
Mm,
whether it be like sad or traumatic or whatever. I mean, I suppose it's the same as like comedy. Not everyone responds the same to comedy stuff. But how some people can be like, wow, that was so amazing. Like you should watch this. And then other
mm.
people come away being like,
Oh
that
no.
is not just terrible, but like so traumatic. I wish I'd never seen it. I would never tell someone else to watch that.
Mm.
Like it's so weird how we're
I think
all
I think we're all programmed differently, and it triggers different things for different people. I think
mm,
like for some people it might just wash over them completely, and for other people they might be in that moment. Maybe they're going through something that the characters are going through, or they've been through something, or know people that have done. So it kind of you resonate with things more.
yeah.
You know, maybe not so much with the science fiction films. But you know what I mean. Though you can attach yourself
Yeah.
to certain things, and that can either make you feel happy or make you feel sad or make you feel a million different emotions. And it's just
Yeah.
like, everybody is different and wired differently to feel different things. But I think the common factor is I think a lot of people will gravitate to their comfort films, their favorite TV shows, their favorite films to make them feel a certain way, whether it is
Mm,
happy, sad, nostalgic, or like you said, maybe they just want something because they know what's going to happen.
yeah.
Comfortable. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
Probably is good.
comfortable.
Comforted.
No, comforted. No. What's the word I'm thinking of? My brain
Familiar.
won't work. Familiar. Yeah,
Mm.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there
know
is
what you
another.
mean.
There is
I
another
don't think
word.
that I ever intentionally watch something to cry. I watch things like you say, nostalgia and like to feel something, but I don't think I ever choose to watch something that I know will make me cry.
Well, do you know, maybe you do it subconsciously though, because if I don't you ever get those moments like, oh, I feel like watching that. Why? Why do you want to watch it though? It could be
Mm,
like a subconscious thing. Maybe you do want to have a
yeah,
cry. You don't
but I think
realise,
that
or you want to.
I think that's why I don't love like a romance. Is it tends to be it's not gonna give me that like light relief of a rom-com. With a
Yeah.
rom-com, every time it starts to feel a little bit too sad or too raw, it'll be funny.
Hmm.
And then it kind of brings it back up again. Whereas with a
Yeah.
romance, it's just that. You're just all in on this relationship.
Yeah.
I think I just have a really hard time watching people be sad.
Mm, yeah. On the screen and in real life. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I don't think that I handle well, I don't think I handle my emotions very well, but I don't think that I feel like I can like if you were just sat in front of me crying, I would possibly just dissolve into a
Yeah.
puddle.
No,
Like,
no, because
oh,
no,
I
because
can't
you're
do it.
no, but you would then try your mechanism for that, because we know how, I know
Mm,
how you work, is you would say something sarcastic or try to make me laugh or try to make me to.
yeah. But I'm recognizing though that because for a long time you're like, oh, it's just that's your mechanism is just to like help them solve the problem. I want to help you feel better. I don't think I do. I need you to feel better because I don't want to deal with this. I can't deal with whatever this sadness is. And so I
Mhm.
have to fix it. Or distract you. It's like either we fix the problem and then you stop crying, or I'm like, look over here. Look at this. I think that's what it is. For a long time, I thought, oh, I feel like I'm a fixer. I don't think I am a fixer. I think I have to get rid of the problem because I can't deal with the problem. So I think that probably feeds into why I can't watch super sad things and romances definitely, and probably a lot of um period dramas. There's not a lot of comedy. I like Cheese and Worcester. That's a comedy. And that's a period drama of sorts. But I can't. And Poirot. Poirot, I like. That's a
That's
mystery. I
ah,
I think the key is I don't like romance, and period dramas tend to be romance.
yeah. You are definitely of a different genre to me, for sure. Well, you
Mm,
like sci-fi for a start, and I bloody hate sci-fi. But there's no romance in that. Well, maybe there is a
there
bit,
absolutely
but
can be. Excuse me. Princess
yeah, but
Leia and Han Solo is the greatest love story ever told. Fact.
it's not as intense as a period drama, though, is it? They're not like
Pretty intense.
right.
It's pretty intense. And then if you read a book, she was really going out with him at the time, and he was married. The Princess
Scandal.
Diaries. It's great. It's great. If you can get past the fact that she's slurring all of her words because she was not great towards the end, her
Oh
books are
goodness.
fantastic, and that was a great story of filming that film. But yeah, I do enjoy that, and I do enjoy otherworldly things, but I wouldn't enjoy like a sci-fi romance. That's probably it. Yeah, no
Hmm.
time for emotions. They're trying to get us. We're being shot at. Stop crying.
We are complete opposites. I am like I need to be in Bridgerton, and you're just like with your gun, like trying to fight everybody. And I'm like,
Like,
oh, I've just dropped my hanky on the
because
floor.
you
Let me wait for
go and
someone to
you're like, oh, oh, just
swing.
let them come. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
You'll rescue
Oh,
me.
I am under no illusion. If we have a zombie apocalypse, I'm the first to go. Oh, gone, gone. Don't kill them. Don't kill them. He won't hurt us. Oh, dead.
Oh,
Gone.
don't, Huey, stop. Yeah, I see. I've gone real back and forth over the years of like how well I would deal with a crisis. And again, if everyone can keep the shit together, I think I'll be fine. If people start crying, I'm like,
No, got time
just
for this shit.
enough of that. So
Pack
yeah,
it
my
in.
comfort rewatches are definitely rom-coms. It's like When Harry Met Sally, like say Sleepless in
Yeah,
Seattle, You've Got Mail.
yeah.
What's another great one? There's just films that I watch and watch and watch. Oh, I
Oh,
tell
that's
you one that you
serendipity.
might not have seen. Mm,
No, okay.
I feel like that falls into that romance category. I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
it. It's not funny
That's
enough.
it. Okay.
I don't know if you've watched it. I don't know if we had a conversation about it because it might have been pre-podcast, but I was watching a show called The Palm Royale. Have we talked about this?
Oh, we've talked about this. I don't. Maybe we talked about it just on a phone call.
In
I
real life.
think. Or in real
In
life. Oh no,
IRL.
in real life, I think.
So I loved that, and I watched that. This was getting a little bit like, when you feel maybe you don't, but I there are certain things that happen, and I think like they're kind of indicators of how well I'm doing mentally. I'm like, if I'm watching the same thing again and again and again, like weirdly again and again and again, I'm like, something's going on. Something's happening. I watched this show, let's say episode 1 came out. So I watched episode 1 like every day till episode 2 came out. And then episode 2 came out. And then I watched episode 1 and 2 on a loop until episode 3 came out. And this happened until all like 10 episodes were out. It was getting silly. Like every time Lee came in the living room, I was watching it. And there were like 4 episodes available. I was just watching them again and again.
Did you get to know the lines? Could you have been in it?
I mean,
Right.
as good as. But that's a period drama because that's set in like the 60s.
Oh yeah, not quite my period drama.
No,
though.
but our period drama. Yeah, I did enjoy that. I think there's something to be said for the aesthetic of a TV show or movie as to why
Mhm.
something is so rewatchable, and that's like Only Murders.
It's escapism, I think.
Yes. Don't
Definitely
you think like the
escapism.
colours of things?
Yeah.
Like there's something about like the music
Well,
being not too sharp.
like that Palm Royale, you were probably drawn to
Mm.
all of the
Ooh.
colours, vibrant colours, and the
Just watch an
mood.
episode of it. Everyone's got like it's like Vaseline on the lens situation.
Oh.
Everyone is soft focus,
Oh.
but like to a point where it was an artistic choice. Because sometimes we'll watch a show and like just one person's in soft focus, and you think that's probably in their contract. She needed to be like filtered to fuck. Like, why does she look like a cartoon character next to that man? And it usually is women, but Ricky Martin was the worst of them. But they're all. It's like they've all got a filter on, and I love it.
They're all walking around with the Paris filter on them.
Yeah, they're all
Oh.
filtered, and it actually did make me think. I wonder if there is a correlation between HD TV, like the advent of HD TV back in the day, and how I know we're doing full circle to the previous episode, but like how accessible and normal fillers and Botox and all of the injectables are now, because everyone that we're watching on TV suddenly was seeing all their flaws on huge screens, and
Yeah.
everyone was aware of them. And so
Yeah.
they were making these changes, and then we're being influenced by these people who are understandably wanting to change their appearance because suddenly they're in HD. I did wonder because, do you know what? I would happily go back to soft focused faces. I don't think we need to see every wrinkle of
No, we don't need to
TV
see every
shows.
wrinkle and every. No, I agree. Actually, I agree. Yeah, but I think there is something to be said about like the aesthetic. I feel like a cool kid now. The aesthetic of a setting of a film or a TV show. In the familiarization of it. Another one that I will watch is a comfort watch, and it's always on gold. Only Fools and Horses. Like it's one of and also Friends. They're the ones that you can have on just in the background, and you
Yeah.
feel like you've seen them all, not chronologically. You don't have to see them chronologically now, but you'll just watch an episode, and you just are like you just feel like, you
Yeah.
know, like just one of those that you just have on in the background, not think about. Yeah, maybe also we watch particular films, maybe the same ones or the same things again and again because you haven't got to think. Maybe you haven't got the brain power,
Yeah.
or the brain capacity to concentrate. So,
Do
because you
you
already
find though
know.
that you are going back to older things that you're watching rather
Oh yeah,
than
totally.
comfort rewatches being new? They're all like from the 90s.
Oh my god! Do you know what we've watched in the space of, I want to say, like 6 months? We have watched the whole. I think there were 6 series. I want to say more, probably longer than 6 months, but the whole series of Goodnight Sweetheart. Remember Goodnight Sweetheart? And I loved watching that. I loved it. Every night we'd come home and we'd watch an episode, like all of us. I used to really love watching 2.4 Children. Do you remember that?
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
we've got it on
Upper
DVD
Hand.
somewhere.
Do you think you
Oh,
can
I
still
love
watch The
The
Upper
Upper
Hand
Hand.
somewhere?
No, because we tried to find it when we were going through this sort of phase.
Yeah.
Tried to find it and couldn't find it. But the music. Oh,
love that. Did you ever watch
yeah.
Who's the Boss?
No.
I don't know which. I think Who's the Boss came first, but it was basically the American Upper Hand, and Tony Danza was the man.
Oh, I guess you could call the equivalent of that, the modern American version of that, is Melissa and Joey.
Yes. Well, Alyssa Milano was the little girl in Who's the Boss.
Oh, okay.
What was I thinking earlier? We were talking about something. I remember thinking it was the modern equivalent of Safe Haven is Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Which is, I would watch that again. That's fantastic. But I just, not to beat a dead horse, but even with Safe Haven, this is long enough ago. I wonder if there is something to this thing of like everything feeling a little bit like I don't remember ever looking at any of the women on Friends faces that much. Like really focusing on the faces.
No,
Now
it's all about the hair.
all about the hair. But I remember watching. I know that I will watch stuff now, and I'm very aware of like skin. Like as you're watching a woman on screen, when they do like a close up and they're talking to someone, you can see everything. And I'm like usually looking at like makeup or whatever, but I feel like we can see too much detail. And for me, it takes away from it, like adds something to be looking at to take away from the actual show. Whereas with Friends, like you say, it was like hair, you were looking at clothes.
Yeah.
We weren't looking for like, I wonder what work she's had done.
No, you weren't, were you? You were just engrossed in the comedy, the writing, rather than how people look. Yeah.
But I wonder I wonder which of those things is the thing. And I wonder whether it is the fact that we couldn't see it then, and so we weren't thinking of it, or we weren't looking for it, which we are looking for it now because we talk about it all the time.
I don't know. I think I kind of wonder if it all started Baywatch time.
Well, body stuff was changing for sure.
Yeah.
But not face stuff.
Well, I don't know.
We were definitely like, I wonder if she had a boob job, because back in the day, everyone said Britney Spears had a boob job from single 1 to single 2. And that was like, what, 98, 99? So that was a thing.
Which was only like 5 years ago, right?
Exactly, just 5 years ago. Whereas we were watching Jennifer Aniston in Murder Mystery 1 the other day, because Milo's now wanting to watch murder mystery things because of other murders. And I was looking the whole
first
time.
one's so much better.
Yeah. Well, we're going to watch the second one tonight because he wants to watch it, but I agree. But the whole time I'm looking at her like, God, she looks great at whatever age she was when they were filming that. And I'm like looking at her face. I'm so aware of her face. And I kind of think, just bring back standard definition.
Yeah.
Bring it back. I was listening to a podcast with Sarah Paulson, and she was saying that she really enjoys playing characters where they do like prosthetics, or she's like wearing a wig, or she's dressed as a person, because she feels like it takes that away from her, and she feels like she's hiding as that character and she's not as aware of herself.
That's interesting, because I read an article yesterday. Jude Law did an interview, and he said that he feels better now he's got older because he doesn't feel like he has to be that Mr. Perfect anymore. He can take on he takes on roles now where he's just like not that attractive.
Yeah.
And he feels better because people are focusing on his acting rather than,
Yeah.
what he looks like.
Yeah. Well, I think that would be true. You know, like if Jennifer Aniston did something and she was wearing a prosthetic nose, no one would be thinking, oh, I wonder if she's had this, or wondering what filler she's had, or wondering what she looks like now versus how she looked then, because you're not really like, that's not a real face.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I do wonder. It's a bit of a what came first, chicken or the egg situation, but I wonder how much of that is influenced by just the world we live in now, and how much of it is because we shouldn't be able to see that closely. We shouldn't be able to
But
see
you
the
can't.
details of.
I know, but we're in it now, and it's either going to get
Yes, can't put the
worse.
genie back in the
It's going to
bottle.
get worse, or it's just going to just stay the same.
It is,
You
but
know.
I think that is possibly part of why we gravitate towards like older stuff. Like we're watching Frasier. We're rewatching all of Frasier at the moment on like our second or third. That's our comfort watch of an evening. It's just like chill. And Kelsey Grammer, if that was now, he'd have had hair plugs. Not a chance would a man look at Frasier in the first season of Frasier. How is that man given a series? He was the star of an entire, I know it was a spin-off, but he was the star of an entire series, and he looked like he does in season 1. Don't get me wrong, he's a handsome man, but that would not fly now.
Got all the ladies, didn't he?
Well, more than he should have had. More than his wife would have liked him to have anyway. But it was just it's interesting because you go back and you go, oh, standards were different, and I think I preferred it.
Yeah. Simpler
A
way
simpler
of life.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, women were all still on extreme diets. So,
do you know what? This could be another podcast, and for another time, next season, if you like. But I was having a conversation with my friend at work, and do you ever have those conversations where you ask just lots of questions, like, if you were a blah blah blah, what would you be? And I just said, if you could live in a different time, what would you live in? Which time would you live in? And we had this conversation for ages, and I said, I think I'd like to live in the 80s, or the 70s or the 80s, as a grown-up, not as a kid, because I think life was just simpler.
It was, Emma, but we have to remember how many less rights we would have had as women.
Yes,
that's the only problem, because I totally agree. What I would like to do is I would like to live in 1975 as a man. Because I don't think, much as I look back and I'm like, when you watch TV shows and you're like, the 70s looks so cool, love the fashion, love the music, love everything about it. Theoretically, I'd like to live in the 70s. That would be my era. But I feel like women weren't even allowed to get credit cards till the 80s. How would I have lived my life? How would I have lived my life? Let me Google this. Let me fact check myself. But I swear, things happened much later than we realise.
Well, I'm talking about the fact that, there was no social media. There was no, I mean, even like in our lifetime, when did we get phones? We talked about this not long ago, didn't we? When we got our first mobile phone, and that was in like the early 200s. Early 200s, oh my God, early 2000s.
The early 2000s. Emma, it wasn't until 1975 that women could open a bank account in their own name. So if you had a job before 1975, then it would have had to go into a joint account or into a man's bank account. You couldn't have a bank account without a man. How insane.
So you're going to be a man?
How insane. Yeah, so I think, if we're going to go back and live in a different time, why not also be a man? Not that I don't love being a woman, but I don't think I would have loved being a woman in 1975.
Actually, I mean, it might be quite a different way of thinking about it. But yeah, it was just a random thing that just popped into my head because I had this conversation with my friend at work, and we were just like, oh, maybe I'd like to live in blah, blah, blah. Or maybe I'd like to live in this time. Or, yeah, I just thought it was quite interesting.
What if we could just, like, reduce technology to what it was in X year? So, like, the rest of everything has moved along.
Well, people wouldn't be seeing this, would they?
True. Do you know what? We could have a newspaper column.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
If
cool.
if we made money from that newspaper column, our fathers would have to receive that income. Um,
I would be Lady Whistledown. That means nothing to me, but
yes,
does it mean everything? Does it mean
it
anything
does.
to
I
you?
did watch season 1,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I
So,
didn't watch season 2 because I knew that entire cast had changed.
well, it changes every season.
I know. Did you watch The Crown? Have we spoken about The Crown?
I've dipped in and out The Crown. My mum loved it. She watched every one of them, and I tend to watch The Crown when she was watching it. So I dip
Yeah.
in and out. So
So I
yeah.
did watch The Crown, rewatched The Crown, loved the first 2 seasons. Like the whole relationship between Elizabeth and Philip was amazing. A lot, like however much of that is real or not, I don't care. That like it was just fantastic. And then I think I'm up to like I've got about half a season to catch up on, but they just kept changing the people. I know why, and it's like every 2 seasons they age everyone up, and everyone changes. I have a real hard time with that.
Change. Don't like change.
Well, theoretically, I love change. I love change all the time, but I like change that I'm in control of.
Yeah, that's what I was just. You mean you wanted to be part of the casting process, not
Yes.
them?
I think we should get to choose if the cast changes, like that. I could keep watching it with the original cast and just believe that they're 20 years older.
I felt like one of those games where you get to
Yeah,
pick the end. Like you could just imagine if you could do that. I'm going to
choose your own
have Tom
adventure.
Cruise today, and then I'm going to have
That is
That
totally
might be
within the realm of possibility.
that's the
They've
future,
got
isn't it, with
enough.
AI?
Yes, they have totally got AI everything. I mean, this is years ago now, probably 15 years ago. There was an episode of 30 Rock where they got like the rights to Jerry Seinfeld and they just put him in everything. And this is so far ahead of its time because AI is not what it was now. But they
Mm.
just got like clips of him in shows and they were inserting him into all these different shows to make the most of the money that they paid. But now that's completely viable. They could just put anyone in anything.
Mm.
I think even like people,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not you and I, but people with skills in that kind of thing can do those deep fakes and they're incredible. It's
Mm.
like people who are not even like in the TV or film industry, just like people in the bedrooms doing these deep fake videos that, I mean, there are apps. Milo showed me one the other day. I can't remember what it was. It was something about the Prime Minister. And honest to God, when he was showing it me, I was like, surely he didn't say that. Like, that can't be right. And I was about to Google
And
it. And then I realized what he was showing me was an AI
I do.
generated video.
Isn't that mad? Isn't
Yeah.
that mad? Yeah. I reckon that is the future, You will be able to pick
Yeah.
what actor you want to play the role in a film.
For someone like I'm so cynical, if someone shows me something, I instantly don't believe it. Like it takes me a long time to be like, yeah, okay. Like Lee'll be like, oh, did you know so and so's getting divorced? And I'll be like, they're not. I haven't even Googled it yet, and I know that.
Let me just check.
I'll like read 4 or 5 articles before I'll believe anything is true. And so now this is in the world. I can't believe what I see. It's insane. But yeah, anyway, that's probably time. We didn't even really cover that many. We got into many topics that weren't comfort rewatches.
But that's what we do.
But that's what we were talking about. That's what this episode was, guys. It was comfort rewatches. So you can comfort rewatch this if you choose.
Yeah,
if you'd like.
that'd be nice. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah, we need something to pay for our next Happy Meal. So please.
Exactly. So we will be back next week, next Sunday, let's say, with our final episode of this season, and then we'll be back at the end of August.
Yeah.
After our summer break for our season 2 of
we probably might film one as well for a bit later as well, because we're together in August, aren't we? So
yeah, I think there's going to be at least one bonus content.
Yeah. Yes, but yet to be decided. We'll see.
Exactly. But yeah, a summer bonus, summer special, and then we could do a Christmas special.
I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but yes,
yes, but absolutely. We still need to decide what we're going to do for our Christmas, our Christmas vacation, our Christmas Our
I don't-
Christmas special.
I said there was a Christmas cruise, and then I googled it and I couldn't find one. I was like, oh, really sad.
Did
I
you
really
make it up?
I thought, what? I saw that you could go to markets, but I don't know whether they're doing it this year. It's very
That is
sad.
sad.
The hunt continues. Don't worry. Don't
Do
worry.
you know what I've just remembered? After we'd finished this, I was going to go and get in the bath, and then I've got these new pajamas, and they are Grandad pajamas. I bought them from the men's section in Morrison's, and they were reduced, and they are full on. Like my granddad would have worn these pajamas, like striped pajamas with a top. £10. Because I thought I was looking, and I thought if they'd sold them in the women's section,
You
people would have bought them. They were like half price because men don't want to wear Grandad pajamas. Women do.
Yeah. You could wear it as a co-ord, to be fair.
I might. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to put it. I'm so excited about them. I'm going to put them on. I'm going to put it on Instagram. Here are my new pajamas. So get excited for that.
Do it. Right.
Get excited. Right. Thanks for joining us for another week.
Yeah, thanks for watching. And yeah, come back next week for the last episode. And then we're having a couple of months off.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back with better stuff. See you later.
Bye.